We are live. So I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. I thank you for joining me once again on another stream, a conscious evolution, a moment for me and you to accept that things won't necessarily be perfect. Hmm? Important lesson to learn sometimes, especially so when we get stuck waiting for things to be perfect before we start. If I waited for things to be perfect, I would still not have done this, right? I wouldn't have been showing up for these streams. I wouldn't have done anything. But fortunately, we were able to transcend that barrier. And we found ourselves in this moment as a result of it. Shell, such a blessing seeing you. Shan too. Natalie, of course. It's day 882 and sharing it with you. Boom. Poet, and she knows it. Kristen is here as well. Love you, dear friend, so dearly. Thank you for joining me. Today's stream topic is close to my heart. I had a conversation with Aegon Hex today about this specific topic and specifically how, you know, we kind of like get ourselves in this loop of like thinking, oh, this thing that I made isn't good enough. Let me unmake it so that I can make it more perfect the next time. And we can get ourselves lost in this spiral of trying to. Oh, I can actually see live chat for the first time on this side. Uh, can I open it? Oh goodness, what did I just do? I don't know if it just yeeted my stream to try and open the chat. You tell me, Shan. But I have my Kalimba set up. This is not turned on though. Yeah, I think it did just kill my live stream. So I can open this chat. Yeah, you now still has some flaws to iron out, but it's not perfect. All right, it's not perfect just yet, but it is something. A little bit of an untraditional view of me. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I want to play us some kalimba. I'm just checking to see the gain levels, so there's no wind noise. You're good here. Love is true. I can hear you, but you're frozen. Okay, it's probably like live on the imagery again, not frozen for me. Hope everyone's in good spirits today. I'm feeling good, Nancy. How are you feeling, dear friend? You feeling in good spirits? Yesterday was a little bit hard for me, and today wasn't really great. Nani? Skibop? My fluff. Oh, there it is. I was looking for the fluffy cat. Today wasn't really a great start. You know, it kind of like started a little bit rocky with like some animosity, with some disagreement about something silly like a scale. You know, like the scale wasn't where it was supposed to be, and I was like, but here we are. Here we are. You know, things aren't going to be perfect. I think like maybe that's I'm supposed to teach myself this lesson today as well. It's like over and over again reminding myself, "Hey dude, I know you like it, you know, when things are great and perfect and ideal, but they won't always be, and that's fine." I'm not gonna swap the lens so you friends can see what I'm doing. The sun is gonna fire my razor at my eyeballs the whole stream if I don't do something about it. Sorry about that noise. So I'm gonna do this. Put this up here. And put this cushion in the way. Yeah. Yeah, no direct sunlight for me. Thank you very much. Sitting back down. Skabam. I see Joy V's name. And Louisiana too. Sam as well. Nancy, I have said hi, but hi again to you, dear friend. So much lovin's. Oh, that's crazy. You now. Yeah, you now. I haven't been streaming on you now, actually. Not for any particular reason. other than we stopped when I went on that little hiatus, and then I didn't start again. I feel kind of bad, but not really. I was just working on my first comment on the stream, and Joe beat me to it. Love is true. Thank you, Jovan, for being here with us as well, dear friend. I wonder what it would sound like if there was reverb on the kalimba. A part of me wants to render an imagined sound for what the reverb would sound like, but I don't actually know what reverb sounds like in general. Melty trimmed beard. You really pay attention, don't you, Joy V? Like it's nice. It's really nice. Thank you for loving me so much. You're like, I'm holding an imaginary magnifying glass. I feel kind of bad, but not really. Yeah, like I feel, it wasn't a bad platform, but there was just a lack of enthusiasm. I really like enthusiasm, like enthusiasm is great to me. And if I see a lack of enthusiasm, that like zaps my enthusiasm as well. It's like, oh, we're not being enthused. Guess I'm not enthusing anymore. Oh, we're not enthusing. Oh, fine. I can also not enthuse. I'll match your energy. Kalimba dub. It's kind of cooler today, so I'm already closing myself up. Pouring and mixing concrete at the moment. So lurk mode. Love you, Brother Bear, even in lurk mode. Phone screen. Don't like concrete for some reason. Just in phones in general. I'm just imagining a phone. There probably is cell phone somewhere in the world encased in concrete. Like some sort of construction worker drops his phone and, like foundation as they're pouring it. It disappears underneath it. And I'm just imagining someone calling it and it's bzzing. I'm existing as a cell phone now somewhere in the universe inside of concrete, and the phone doesn't like it. I got my first sunburn of the season yesterday, but not by not staying in the shade. I'm happy that you're at least aware of your transgressions, Natalie. Take care of yourself. I'm also trying to take care of myself. I feel like the late afternoon sun won't really burn me, but it's still not great for my skin, at the end of the day. Duck, you too, perfect duck, love is true. Multi-trend beard, it's true. Natalie, I'm convinced, building a sunshade. I'm coincidentally building a sunshade right now. Coincidentally, it's almost like this space, induces perfect synchronicity. Oh, Melty, you didn't shave because of me, did you? Yes, I did, actually, doctor. To be completely honest, I can be like, oh no, you think I'm that insecure? Yes, in fact, I am that insecure. But I like it this way technically more, like it's a little bit more behaved. Like I don't have the Giga Chad beer genetics. I know this about myself, freaking humaning. I feel talking about it, not really. Herm, I should see if my friends who likes edits would enjoy making reverb with Kalimba. No expectation, of course, Natalie. Love is true. Nancy, I have captured some of Mel's Kalimba on my DAW digital audio workstation interface. Yeah, I can easily put some reverb on and post in the Discord for you. Love is true. Thank you, Loizana, for being willing to. You now sucked engagement. You now sucked engagement. You now sucked. Engagement was non-existent. Yeah, I don't know if live space is any better. You better. There's like maybe 2 people watching, but I think it counts me as one of the people that thinks is watching, so there's like basically non-existent engagement there as well. And I don't know, Twitch hasn't really called to me. Hey, Sena, it's nice seeing you. Twitch has expectations, I don't know if they still have expectations, but I remember watching PB, and he mentioned that if you like have content on Twitch, like if you live stream, they kind of like want exclusivity if you're a partner. And I don't know. There's like I'm like, as these words want to come out of my mouth, I'm like, is this revealing something about me? Am I saying too much? I was not enthusiastic about either, so I get it. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I feel like the thing for me is that platform is like 13 years old. When we started using it was like already 13 years old, right? And I'm just imagining from a perspective of trying to create something that facilitates community, and you've done it for 13 years and you still can't get it quite right, right? Like the fact that they didn't, for the whole time we were streaming, figure out vertical video. Because I remember we were still using the old, you know, stream setup when we initially started using it, and it would like cut like that big of a slice basically out of my face, like out of the whole frame. Like take vertical video, it films in vertical video, and then it takes a vertical video and it takes a horizontal slice out of it. That just triggers me even thinking about it. I'm like, bro, oh please, oh please don't. So yeah, okay, it's fine. It's the Wish version of YouTube and had appropriate engagement, is true. Yeah, but the fact that it's been existing for 13 years and it still kind of like was that way, it's kind of like the big thing that kind of killed it to me. Sena, love to you again, friend. It's nice seeing you in the space again. How are you doing? Bro, real talk, all beers go through the patchy before the Giga Chat. I can never say anything with the intent to make you feel... No, of course not, Brother Bear. I wasn't feeling bad about it, but like it was a certain level of awareness, right? Like I wasn't just seeing my beard now through my own eyes. I was seeing my beard through your eyes as well, and was like, You don't have to be sorry, Brother Bear. You don't have to be sorry, man. Like I do like this look more on myself as well, And I know that if I want to grow my beard, like for instance, Vessel is growing his beard, and his beard is longer than mine, like significantly at this point. And from my perspective, I haven't communicated this to him, and that's the thing. That's like the level of awareness we have to practice sometimes. I haven't said anything to him. But if I was to say something, I'd probably not say anything uplifting, right? And then as a result of that, I rather just don't say anything at all, trying to kind of like protect that energy, But at that level, knowing that we have the same beard genetics, being able to see him with a longer beard, knowing that that's probably what I'm gonna look like, it wouldn't be for me, right? So I'm aware of that as well. Also, Doug Dad, I grabbed audio of your ukulele and tried to combine it with some of my kalimba audio, but I think when you were playing, it was inspired by some Sangha kalimba, so not recorded. Love is true. Thank you, Lovizana. Thank you for like growing that skill. Clover called during yoga, so I have to lurk and then take off. It's okay, Natalie. We love you, dear friend. That's cool. Have a gorgeous day and stay safe. Absolutely. I seriously can't convey how much my hard work's making you feel less than Melt. I will take this lesson with me. No, Brother Bear. There was no animosity, You asking allowed me to kind of like poke fun at myself as well. This is the way it's supposed to be. Oh, today's whole stream topic is about trying to be perfect, and realizing that there's no such thing. That if I'm gonna wait for myself to be perfect, I'll wait until I'm dead. So it's same thing for you. Don't stress. Oh, there's no anger. There's no sadness. There's no hurt. Love is true. I count as one of the viewers on Livespace Mode. We have another friend there as well. Is there 3 now? No, only 2. It tells me only 2. So me and you, I think, right now, Shan. Hey, John. Finally, new month and more Midjourney time. Yeah, John actually managed to use all of his Midjourney rendering, hours. Like when he says this to me, he's like, "Oh, I finished all of my Midjourney hours." I'm like, "You did what now? How did you do that?" It's like, that's kind of impressive. It's nice having you here, Brother Bear. Sending you so much lovin's, man. How has your day been? A little bit more quiet. So we're promoting the YouTubes there on Livespace. Pretty much, I feel like that's essentially what's happening. In 4 days? Oh, you're only getting new Midjourney hours in 4 days? It kind of sucks. Like a part of me is kind of upset. I thought you would get it today, you know, it being the 1st of June after all. Okay. I feel I want to take a moment to play some kalimba. Yeah. Open myself up to not being perfect, you know. Play this little instrument of mine. We'll do 4 minutes and 44. No, we'll do 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Actually, 3 minutes and 34 seconds. Yeah. Skabam and skabop. Man, that put me into a little bit of a trance. Where's Joe Schmo when we need him? I've used it up in 4 days, a month's worth. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy, dude. How much of the works of art you made did you actually end up putting in the folder, right? So of the month's worth of content you used up, how much, like percentage wise, of it actually made it to the folder? We're like creating a folder of all of the stuff we want to end up actually like using for the beezy knees. I wanna see something. Ah, yeah. Only I can see it, I guess. Oh, so nice to hear. Early morning where I am. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, dear friend, for letting me play you some kalimba. It really is an honor being able to share with you, friends. This pursuit of trying to be perfect. I definitely am stuck in some ways, wanting things to be perfect. I applied for a job today. Hey, dudes, hey, please, can you do that anywhere else? Please and thank you. For trying to be perfect, huh? We're trying to be perfect, exactly. I can't escape it. It's like ingrained in my mind. As soon as I see something I don't approve of, I have to say something. And then I say something, and then people hate me for it. And then I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have said anything at all. All right. But that would be a betrayal of myself. So it's a process, I guess, like we say over and over again in these streams. So many processes we have to go through. I'm imagining I bought myself an extra tripod so that so we can have multiple camera angles if I'm going to be filming some videos. Shelly did ask me to actually film like a kalimba video, and I've been planning to. It's just doing it right and wanting it to be perfect. Wanting it to be perfect. I thought this was your job. Yeah, I know. But with the current job I have, I cannot afford to live, unfortunately. Right. So I need to figure something out so that I can live if I'm going to move out of this house eventually. I applied for a job in the Western Cape. It's close, like about 100 kilometers away from Cape Town. It's called Franschhoek. Let me actually show you some photos. I think your friends will melt if you see this. My mind has been really idealistic, being like, ooh, if only, right? Kind of vibes, which is not healthy for me because I get so invested and then I hurt myself when I don't get what I want. A French hook. Look at this. This place is gorgeous. Let's go images. This is what the little Franschhoek town looks like. Yeah. So one of those little places, are looking for or at least they were looking for a yoga teacher to go and yoga teach. And I found the job online and I applied. Went through the process of like just writing up a CV again. And like just that whole process makes me feel like ass, where I'm like, oh, I'll perform. Oh man, come over, skibidi bobby. Trying to be perfect, right? Trying to display myself as perfect for this position. And then I apply and I get an email telling me that I've applied. And then I go back to the website to see, like my OCD mind being like, come on, tell me something already. And then the job listing is just gone. And I'm like, I don't think that's good. Either it's great, where they were like, yeah, we found the person who's gonna gerbs, or it means they've already found a person to gerbs. And me sending an application, they realized, oh shit, we haven't removed the gerb request yet. And then they removed it, right? Which is probably the more likely scenario. But yeah, fractals. Fractals. It was a job and I applied for it, which is not something that I particularly want to be doing. So again, right, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it is something. So nice to hear early in the morning. Sugar mama? Yeah, maybe. If there's a rich Tani, somewhere in Cape Town that wants to house me and feed me, I probably wouldn't be able to say no. I'm like, you know what, Tani? Tani is like our word for aunt. Auntie, I'm moving in tomorrow. I looked at pics of Cape Town the other day. Holy gorgeous. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. South Africa is a beautiful country. There's so many beautiful places here. It's just that area happens to be the most expensive place that I could live out of the entirety of it. You know, which is kind of like comical to me, where I'm like, oh yes, I'm gonna move out of, my family's home again. And then instead of moving somewhere affordable, I want to move to the place that's the most expensive in the whole country. Eva. Perfect. Perfect. Eva, I'm laughing at that. Okay. If you need a strange, articulate, tiny American as a reference, holla at your boy. I surely will. Like I did everything I could. I was like raving about the fact that I have the power of consistency. I post links. I mentioned that I'm an independent contractor for the Soul of Yoga in Encinitas, Brother Ryan's studio. So I danced and pranced, like Christian has this beautiful poem. I don't know if he actually posted it. Did he? I don't know. I think he has. I want to read you friends this poem. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Let's see if I can find it quickly. It's a dude in a suit, I believe. Here it is. Yeah. This is his art that goes along with the poem he made. And it goes, oh no, what have you done? It yeeted. There we go. I have to go scroll back down again, but it's fine. I dance and prance to the silly trance of the fancy dress code party. The sycophancy of the modern Nancy is an antsy-chancy story. Is an antsy-chancy sortie. A necromancy of the brain-dead pansy designed for a bootlick duty. Kiss of booty, hooty tooty, and mindless exclusivity. If I had a choice, I'd hoist my voice and let loose loud and clear. I have a fear, with eye-filled tear, that our prideless end is near. That humanity, in its tragedy, has lost its way so dear. And if we steer by stupid peer, our dreaded fall is sheer. All right. The dance and prance. Oh, look at me. Oh, I'm Fresco Vadiver. I'm so perfect. Look at me suiting. Look at me combing my hair. Look at look at me doing my chirps. Look at me working right now. Yeah, the dance and prance. It's right. Sugar auntie. Heck. Holy heck, that place is beautiful. It really is, right? Like that's partially why I was like, yeah, I'm so gonna apply for that job, because if I can work there, I wouldn't be opposed to it, I would definitely not be opposed to it, but alas. Let's see. I spend a significant amount of time looking at SA real estate. Spend more time. There's good real estate here. Like, and I'm not even joking about that with you friends. If you, for instance, have the ability to earn capital online and you're earning in dollars and you come to South Africa, you're a baller. If you earn minimum wage online in America right now, you are literally richer than 95% of the South African population. In other words, if you have $60,000, or imagine yourself making $60,000 if in the next 10 years, you can own a house here, right? That's possible. South Africa is still one of the cheaper countries, and it has potential. It has load shedding as well, so our currency is getting absolutely grenaded right now, which is good for you if you're American and you earn in dollars. It's great, in fact, it's fantastic. But it's not so great if you get paid in rand. For instance, I was talking to Christian today about this. If you had 100,000 rand, which is like $6,000, last year, this time, you now effectively have 90,000 rand. Like, you've lost 10%. We lost 10% of our currency's value due to inflation and, the dollar value, in the last year. It's just kind of ridiculous, you know. It's like losing, like watching our money, our country's money melt in front of our eyes. And it's like, oh well. And people are like, yeah, South Africa has no prospects of any economic growth for the year 2023. Devastating load shedding is fucking people's lives up. I don't say that exactly, but that's essentially how it is. You know, like Aegon Hex, for example, you know, is talking about how he's having, you know, troubles kind of like doing his work, making videos, for example, you know, using his PC. Mine as well. My PC is fixed, and I was like writing this whole CV today, and then before I get to actually publish, you know, submit my application, power goes off. Fortunately, I was doing it on Indeed, I think it's called, which is like an online job connector middleman, you know. So fortunately, all of my work was actually saved online. Otherwise, I would have probably been a little bit at this point. Fortunately, not. But yeah, Loda shedding. Yeah, buy batteries. If you're gonna come here, get batteries as well. You know, like I mean, I'm powered on batteries right now, for example. So it is possible to do all of your things. Wow, that's so soothing. I love the sound of the kalimba. You should use it and make it an intro song to your live streams. Weirdly enough, a part of me wants to do that, Sena, where I want to like play a little bit of kalimba to kind of like set the space before we actually start the conversation. But then as soon as I'm live, you friends are already here, and I would think myself rude, or not even rude. I just want to reach out to you friends and say hi more than I want to play my kalimba kind of vibe. And then I end up doing that. Thank you, Sena, for liking it as well, though. Sugar auntie. I technically have a sugar mama. Lol, two of them. Nani? Is yours? Sure. Applying for a job started the energetic wheel. Doesn't mean you necessarily get the first one you apply to. It's true, Nanshi. But, and this is the unfortunate part of South Africa and our economy, 60. And I'm not joking about that figure. It used to be 50, now it's 60. 60% of people under the age of 30 are unemployed in South Africa. Mm, yeah. The economy falling apart. It's almost like people don't get jobs, you know? Almost like that. So there was like one job. There was like legit, you know, I searched just the term yoga. I just type in yoga to this Indeed website, and there's one job at this, you know, place in like close to Cape Town that actually has an opening, and that's why I applied for it. So if there was just like copious amounts of, you know, jobs that I could just keep applying to, I probably would have at this point, but that doesn't seem to be the case. That's why, you know, coming back to South Africa, I had to try and figure something out for myself. Otherwise, I'd probably have to nepotisms or something. Fuck that. I don't want to throw shade. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna shut up. Yeah, yeah. I was writing in my journal today. If I can't be kind, I will be silent. Oh, technically, I'm Sugar Mama. Cool places are expensive. Yes, they are. I'm totally going to use Dance and Prance. We actually call those dog and pony shows. Yeah, exactly. Dance and Prance is what I've been using, but dog and pony shows is the traditional. I like this poem. Like Joy Vive, and this is just me loving him too much for his own good. Damn it. Why do I love him so much? Like Christian also has a Patreon. Hey! Out of frame! Stop doing it in frame! You can, like, there's so much farm out there, yo. There's so much farm for you to hump Pippi. He doesn't even have balls. I'm so sorry. I feel derogatory right now. Don't do it out of frame, yo. Please. Please, there's so much space. Oh, in every direction. There's like this cone that I don't want you humping one another right now. Please. Oh, please, mercy. No, no, no. And why is that? As the producers of the product, we are marketing our labor. It is we who are in the position to demand the song and dance from our potential employers. That's the way it should be, right? Employers should try and convince you why they want you to work for them. You know, it shouldn't be the other way around. I completely agree. We've just been brain damaged, Sam. Straight up. I'm proud of you for putting in the effort to apply Melt. Thank you. Thank you, Shan. At least now the Indeed CV is done. I've like added all of my informations. So that was, I guess, just a matter of maybe someone else finding me. Do you think I can get a South African to buy $14 US tomato plants? If so, I'm in. Probably not. Probably not. If you're in Cape Town, probably actually, $200. That would be like 200-ish bucks. A tomato plant. Mm. 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 I mean, it's possible. It's not impossible. It's gonna be a little bit harder than it is for you at the moment. If so, I mean, U.S. is experiencing inflation too, possibly tipping into a recession at some point. Yeah, like we've been in a recession a long time. There's like money being printed faster than we can spend it. That's what's happening right now. And there's like BRICS coming, and my country happens to be a part of that shiznit. Like it kind of makes me cringe to imagine someone is gonna ask me, or I'm gonna ask someone how much does it cost, and instead of them being like it's 50 rand, they're gonna be like it's 20 bricks. Give me them bricks, and I kind of like it. That's the thing that bothers me about it is like calling money bricks. It kind of makes sense, right? It's like, yes, I can buy bricks with money, and I can build myself a house. So I could like visualize it as bricks, little singular units of bricks that I can trade for other stuff. US, how is SA going to fix its power problems? No one wants to invest in a country of no power. They're not. They're not fixing it, Joy. Like for instance, last year they gave everybody at Eskom, the company running our power grid, a 7% raise. They have 40,000 employees with an average salary of 70,000 Rand a year. I think. Maybe it was a month. I hope it's not a month. I really hope it's not a month. It might be. But then they gave them a 7% raise. A bankrupt company gave all of their employees a 7% raise. And that's great for the employees, right? More power to them because they're me getting raises. But it's been 16 years of load shedding. Oh, that's making my head hurt a little bit. It's been 16 years of load shedding and nothing has been fixed. So the way I recommend fixing load shedding, if you're gonna come here, is to come here with like $2,000 at least, plus the money you'd be willing to spend on rent, which is like $400. Rent in South Africa for like a 2-bedroom apartment is gonna be $400. I'm serious. Like Christian's apartment was $400, maybe even less. Yeah, a little bit less. $400, and then you just hoy solar panels and batteries, and you can keep your things charged. It's still like power for about 12 to, if you're lucky, 16 hours a day. The other few hours, you'll just have to make do with not having power. Make sure your devices are charged. Dum-dum-dum. They're gonna wait for a handout from G7. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. They're handing out power plants. They just need to invest in renewables. It's cheaper. Like, I think 93% or 90% of all of our power generation happens from coal right now. And the people selling our government coal have a vested interest in making sure that it remains that way. And then they're trying to build more of these plants and they keep breaking because it's old tech. It's cheaper to invest in renewables. Hey, Kelly, sending you lovin's. It's cheaper to invest in renewables, but they kind of like monopolized our energy grid so that only one company is allowed to actually provide electricity. And surprise, surprise, that company is a government subsidiary. Oh, wow. It's almost like the people in charge are fucking stupid. Oh, wow. Oh, oh, oh. I'm reeing inside right now. It doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah. South Africa is definitely not perfect, but you can come here. You can help us rebuild. It has potential, you know. Fortunately, it has a lot of potential. You're doing better than most is very true. Like 1000% true. I'm doing better than people even in their 60s right now, Joyviv. You've got a couple of revenue streams going. Perhaps you could stop giving away free yoga. No, the yoga needs to, like, people can pay me for the yoga, but the yoga needs to be free because it's good for people, right? Like, from my conscious perspective, at this point in my life, for example, that's what I think about, Joanne. At this point in my life, I wouldn't be able to pay for a yoga class right now, right? But I would still like to be able to go to a yoga class. So, from that perspective, with that as awareness, I can offer a free yoga class to myself as different versions of self, right? I am still getting paid by the people that do join. You know, Jan and Brother Ryan has been pretty consistent. Sometimes Pua is there, sometimes Daniel. Yeah, those are the ones that have been consistent. I trip out why some friends don't come back. You know, I was like talking about it in my yoga today, where I'm like, do people not come back because I'm fucking weird? And my mind is like, yeah, probably. That's probably exactly what's happening. That's probably what 100% was happening. Thank you though. Thank you, Dojo Aviv. I know you only care. It's a process. That's all things are. It is a process, you know, and my willingness to give before I receive is what I pride myself on, right? Before it's perfect. Like, it would be in a perfect world, right? I would just get gang monies for all of the things I do, but this world isn't perfect. So I would rather give without it being perfect, you know, than wait for it to be perfect before I start giving. Joy is deliberate, not random power outages. They're conserving coal. Yeah. And then the coal gets wet, and then there's not enough coal to burn. So they stop burning the coal because this. And yet, look at how beautiful the sky is. And there's trees just existing. They don't care. And the sun is setting, and the light is becoming a little bit more red, and it's shining through the blades of grass. There's so much beauty. So much beauty regardless. Pardon my masculine trying to solve your life, but hear me out. You are already set up for live streaming. You have an audience from back in Reddit and here. Set up a market for your yoga for 15 to 20 bucks a month. A video will be live or available on your website. A little bit more polishing if you script, and you can take money from Global. Yeah, I've thought about that. It's just I don't feel comfortable with charging you friends anything. All right, I love you too much. Like, it's this part of me that was like, if I was an asshole, I would be better off, but I can't get myself to be, right? Where my brain is like, you know what you can do, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. It will happen eventually, right? There will be more things to be done. You sell airy fairy, as you say. Don't reinvest the wheel, refurbish the wheel. I get you, Brother Bear. Thank you for sharing with me. I have thought about these things. It's not like I'm, you know, unaware of these possibilities. I know what the load shedding is, Shell. It's true. I was wondering why they don't use solar, because it's, you know, going to take money from people who are earning, like, for instance, you know, with this whole government subsidiary, they sell them mops. And, like, I wish I was joking about this. I really wish. Please, please say that I'm joking. No, I'm not. They sell their mops for 234,000 rand. You're like, what, Mel? I don't know how much that is. It's like $16,000 for a mop, you know? So there's contractors, because it's a government subsidy. So there's like this tendering process if you want to sell things. And then whoever wins the tender is usually a friend of someone who works in the government. And then they can charge whatever they fucking want to. They charge prices like $230,000, 230,000 Rand, $16,000 for a mop. And then they're like, yeah, let's pay it because I'm going to get some of the cash on the other side, underneath the table. The amount of corruption in government. Please, AI, please help us, yo, please. We need better leadership. We need something super sentient, that can take into consideration everything. A part of me wants to believe that privatization might be the answer because the government is clearly not capable of it, right? Privatization, and then at the same time, active feedback, because every single one of us have cell phones at this point. So if we all can use our cell phones to provide feedback for which private, entities are actually doing their job, they get to be rewarded with more work. And if they don't do their job, then they don't get more work, like we can make it fair like that. Who knows? Who knows how long it's gonna take? Darlings, hope I'm finding you all. Let me just see if I miss a few. Startup costs are daunting, barrier for that kind of thing. Yeah, it's gonna cost billions in investment, it's true. And even though that's true, we have imported 3.6 billion Rand worth of solar panels just in the last 6 months, 5 months technically. So Rand is 20 bucks, 20 Rand to $1 right now. So you can quick maths. It's like $200 million worth of solar panels have been imported just in the last year, all right? So there is a lot of energy coming into this country. It is happening, but it's the amount of infrastructure, and then they're just like stealing. There's so much money is being stolen, just evaporates. The current monetary system is not set up to help people. It's not. It's not. Crypto might be a better way. I don't really talk about money in this space a lot, but at least with that, you can't fuck. You understand? You cannot print more crypto. You cannot hide absurd amounts of money. You cannot steal absurd amounts of money because it's on the blockchain. And there's proof of stake, etc., etc. I'm losing my mind a little bit. Let's bring it back. Hope I'm finding you all happy and healthy. Interesting chat so far. We're moving to SA. I'm certain that between us, we have the skills to escape to a commune in the mountains. Let's go. We probably do. We probably have more than enough money to buy ourselves property here as well, actually. It's definitely possible. We don't need to go to the mountains, guys. We're gonna commune on the farm. I mean, technically there is, space here as well. I actually already have I have a space where I would like to do it, around the copy. We just need work, technically, capital and work to actually build, housing. Papa and Mama Melt, no. Mama and Papa Melt know about that? Yeah, they do, imagine. I'm actually not joking about that as well. Whether the adventure, count me in, come back to Canada, 3 months, getting restless. Duck Dad, great idea. Melt's energy is magnetic, and I'm sure there are many people out there who would feel that. Just gotta reach them. Pardon my masculine, but hear me out. Love that. I really resonates with that answer or that, sentiment as well. It's not impossible, right? These things that we're talking about is not that far away. It's just a matter of, as you mentioned, reaching people. Reaching people. And how do we do that? And then I trip out knowing that if we have reached more people, then this wouldn't be a concern right now, and then it's the looping back of it of oh, I'm trying to solve my own problems, which we don't have these problems in the first place. It's the same reason my business is risk adverse here. Doesn't matter if the big grow operations grow exactly what I do. People buy from Duck Dad. People will support Mel to the end of the earth. Duck Dad. I'm just happy to have your support, Brother Bear. That's what's most important to me. Mel, you just don't say you melt. Just want to say, don't let the 3D fractal limit your possibilities. I would never have imagined that a worldwide pandemic would have benefited me in the ways that it has. It's weird. Technically, because of ARPAN, I came back. I was in China in the midst of the pandemic. And then it was like year 2 of the pandemic where we were still kind of like dealing with lockdown. And then ARPAN was a thing. And then we started there. And then ARPAN allowed us to meet one another, because of the front page. That was massive. That was like kind of insane, right? Like, can we take a moment to really consider how crazy that is? It makes sense that they had to kill it, you know. Like, I feel if we were continuing on ARPAN and we were going front page as consistently as we were back then to this day, there would have probably been thousands of people in the stream right now. And that would have changed the dynamic, right? And we wouldn't have had this close knit of a community. So I think, and I do tell myself this a lot, I think this is exactly the way it's supposed to be, that I wouldn't change anything. And I have to remind myself of that, right? To try and bring a topic relevant back. This is perfect. What we have right now is perfect. If we could have anything, if we could redo everything, this would be perfect. Candace, talking about friends we met on ARPAN. Candace, sending you lovin's. Kelly, Mel taught me that. I always try to fix things. Many are off put by it to feel it's excellent to acknowledge. It's exactly that. Dude, people come back to me because I'm fucking weird. It's so hard to accept when guys like us have been shunned for it all our lives. So if you don't feel that way, Mel, don't charge us. There are 7.99 billion others outside of us with Monies. It's true. It is true. I get it, Brother Bear. It's just reach again, right? Like, you friends are the people I have access to right now, right? And for me, it's more important to have this close knit experience, to see you friends as actual friends, right? Instead of as customers or as clients. And I like, it's priorities, right? Priority 1, love people. Priority 2, love people some more. Priority 3, love people even more, as in art or as in yoga, stream art, right? And then the last priority is actually make money. That's why, like, the Patreon is like set up for $1 at the low end as well, so that people can still have access to the art for the bare minimum. Oh, oh. And I'm happy about that. I think it's perfect that I don't have money as a priority. But then I have plans, right? I have the will to become mobile. I have the will to move out of my family's home. And that requires money. And I hate that it does, but it's not like I can just close my eyes and pretend it's not. A mop, or is a mop? No, an actual mop. Like, put in water and slide over the floor. $16,000. I'm actually serious. JV, if it was a $14,000 hammer. If the government hiring contractors who bill for 5K hammer and everyone is getting a cut. Exactly. Corruptions. So much corruptions. Manual operated polisher. Oh, yeah. Seeing your name made me smile this morning. Are you well? So much love. Thank you for asking. You're feeling, yes, feeling good, says our beloved Louisiana. Preparing for knee surgery 1 week from today. There was a cancellation and they offered me the spot. I have been on a waiting list since before COVID, 2019. It's 2023 right now. Damn. Blessings, Louisiana. I'm happy to hear that you're actually getting your spot. Manifest. Manifest more love. How is everyone? Even better with you here, Candace. It's the same in healthcare. We underpay and overwork our nurses and then charge $21 Band-Aid 10 times a day because I have a scruffy edge. Everything is outrageously expensive, yet still waste is constant. Yeah, and then with all of this waste, we actually let people die because they don't, have money, right? It's like there's so much money flowing into this system, and then at the same time, there's this unwillingness to actually take care of people. Eva has something on her lip and it's bothering me. Eva, okay, so what's on your lip, yeah? Did you eat like porridge or something? Maybe it's just her hair being caught by the light. That might be it. Mm-mm-mm. Viking. Hi, your puppy. Your puppy kiss. Puppy, oh, I can't move this right now. My light is set up in a weird way. Louisiana, says Nancy. Have you tried platelet-rich plasma injections for your knee? That is a good suggestion. Stem cells as well, actually. And maybe even peptides could also be a good suggestion. Peptides are pretty sick. What are peptides, Melt, you ask? Peptides are a type of amino acid, technically. You know, your body produces a bunch of different amino acids, and peptides are like a class of them. And some of them have like really amazing benefits for like enhanced healing. So there are ways that can go beyond surgery. I just want to acknowledge and say thank you for making this particular choice for us on our behalf, Mel. Love you, Shell. This is a showing up for love, right? And that's why no matter how wealthy I become with whatever venture I go into, this isn't going to change, right? Nothing is going to override this as one of my absolute and fundamental priorities. I would rather die before I stop. 1000% agreed. Love you, Kristen. Thank you, dear friend. Lois, excellent news. I have worked orthopedics for years and I've always loved to see the game-changing effects of going bionic. So excited for you. Love is true. Nancy, I've had 3 injections and an arthroscopy over the last 7 years. Now getting an Oxford partial knee replacement. Bless. You've already gone through the process. I'm sure you'll be much better off. Lolo, love you. Thank you for joining us too, friend. Doing good. Found out someone claimed 4 out of 5 of them on their tax return. Nani? I don't know what that means. Found out someone claimed 4 out of 5 of them on their tax return. I'm sorry. Like I was reading up, same to you, how is everyone with your previous messages, so I don't get the context. Identity theft is the worst. I'm sorry. Someone got identity theft? Am I missing comments? I must be. I'm not seeing what your friends are talking about. I hope surgery goes well. It will. Is it a sports injury? Let's see if this is not. This world. Being a human body. Being a somebody. Yeah, that's a nice fire my laser. I started about that. Right. Perp in my knee, last I checked, was 5K per knee per treatment, so insurance would touch it. Probably wouldn't touch it, is what you meant. But yeah, they should, you know, because it's cheaper to actually get, you know, stem cells or peptides than it is to get surgery, you know. And if it can save you from surgery, that's good. That's a really good thing. Slowly but surely, friends, AI is probably going to be the paradigm shift that we need to see things so radically change that it's impossible for them to remain the same. Let's see what the universe is going to say through sacred geometries. This one. The moon is looking beautiful behind me as well. Moon? There. Oh, she's behind the tree for you, friends. Right there. You can claim dependence on your taxes. Someone claimed Candace's kids as their dependents, which is fraud and theft. At that refund, oh my goodness. Someone claimed, yes, like I'm getting so triggered. The masculine in me is like, I want to find that person and jump on them, turn them into goo, turn them into mush. So any of you have accessory naviculars? I do, and I'm wondering how common it is. I have no idea what those words mean. Hey Google, define accessory naviculars. It's just giving me the definition for accessory. Hey Google, define navicular. Boat-shaped. A boat-shaped bone in the ankle or wrist. Especially that in the ankle between the talus and the cuneiform bones. Or it's a chronic inflammatory and degenerative disease affecting said bone. The fact that I don't know what it is, I probably don't. Kelly, that's so cool that you're in the field. No, not a sport injury, just old. The Oxford partial apparently makes it a lot easier for full replacement in the future if necessary. And I plan to live to 100, so I need my knees. Yeah, even longer. Even longer. 100 is too young. I want you to live to at least 200. At least, Loizana. There's no dying until you're 200 years old. Please, you're gonna have to stick around. I'm sorry. I know you're probably gonna want to rest by 100. I'm like, no. Here, have some longevity injection. Some people have extra vernicular bone in their feet. I do. It makes my feet flat too. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. That flat feet thing. This card has been gnawing at my brain. I still don't know what it is. Shell, I never heard of that, but I'm going to read more about it. Sounds like my hubby. Maybe even. What was I talking about while we were pulling the card? I was talking about the moon, the phase mandala. Life is a vibrant dance of interconnectedness, where every step, every breath reveals the profound unity of existence. Embrace rhythm, surrender to the flow, and let your souls harmonize and melt. Brother Connor, thank you for sharing your presence with us today, for phasing into the mandala. Phase mandala. The moon card. I think like this is the moon card. I think the moon is like at this phase right now. Yeah, it looks like it. Right, the moon is always in a phase. Technically. At least 100. My auntie made 102. Nice. They asked for her secret for her longevity, and she said no husband, no kids. I mean, unfortunately, you don't have that as a benefit, but we're gonna have technologies. I look forward to living to at least 100 with you, friends. I like this card. Me too. It's such a cool one. It's nice having you here, Connor. Connor Banana. Let's see what it means. Card number 2. Card number 2. Cycles and movement as the core meaning. We did pull it reversed, and the reverse meaning goes, realize you may not be able to reverse cycles. However, you may move with them. Living in cooperative balance with movement through cycles is the message of this card. We watch the moon as she rolls around the earth and shows us the faces of her phases. We experience the cycles of nature in the turning of the seasons, in the phases of matter as solid, liquid, and gas. We cycle from childhood to adulthood, to midlife, to elder, with the movement of our humanness. Conception, manifestation, completion. Everything moves in cycles and then begins anew. Mindful advancement through phases give personal symbolic meaning to any event. Look to the underlying energy and movement rather than the actual event. On some level, a physical move, a new job, or a creative project, a birth or an expansion in relationship is similar energetically. We were talking about getting the wheel in motion, right? That's a cycle. Each involves your intent to move towards new possibilities and fruition of your personal dream. Each represents a phase in the cycles of your life, experience, and spiritual growth. Each moves you towards the evolution of your vision. Honor the progression of movement in your current situation. Yeah, that feels right. Full moon on Saturday, a few more days. Saturday morning, I'll make duck cake for Bluey. Must go shopping for ingredients. Please do. Love is true. Thank you, Brother Duck Dad, for being such a cool dad. Full moon on Saturday. Much love, Shan. Thank you for always sharing the 1111. I may be using that as an excuse to double down on my daily wishes. Please do. Manifest, right? Like every single time I find like a vamper eyelash on my cheek, I blow it off and I wish for world peace. Either world peace or unity consciousness. I'm like, hey, please, please let us remember that we're one, please. You stop fucking killing one another, please, please, please stop it. One day it's gonna work. One day I'm gonna blow one of those little eyelashes away and then suddenly there will be an awakening. Love you all. Need to bear up my wobbly bobbity movements. Please be, dude. Only you can be, all right? Only you can live your life for you. Can be the most bestest version of yourself as yourself. Diggity damn, it's kind of cold. Seeing the last remnants of the sunset. It's like 45 minutes to 6. So we have like an hour and 45 minutes of power left. And then from 7 until 11, there's no electricity again. I'm not particularly looking forward to it. But yeah, that's the reality of the situation. Melt, a trade, few. Have mastered is knife sharpening. Shell Jr. told himself, you could offer yoga plus sharpening. You'd be indispensable. That's kind of hilarious. Are you serious? Knife sharpening. Weirdly enough, I don't know if it's my brothers or my dad's, but they bought this new blade sharpener that has like a stone, and then that stone is like on some sort of pivoting thing, and then you place the blade, and then it has this pivot that you draw over the blades to sharpen the blade. So if I was gonna become a knife sharpener, it would literally, be now, if ever, whetstones for everybody. No, I'm sorry. I appreciate it, Shell, but again, it's a matter of where I feel my skills are. Like this is, I feel weirdly enough, one of the things that I've very, very much been equipped to do. Being able to show up in this place, being able to share the way that I do with you friends. It's what I'm here for. And unfortunately, nobody is going to pay me in South Africa to sharpen their knives for them. Like, in fact, people would laugh at me if I told them, you know. And the thing is, as well, it's like a time thing, right? How long am I going to spend sharpening a knife for? And then how much am I going to charge a person for sharpening the knife? I would be charging people literally more money than their knives are worth. Proper knife sharpening is also incredibly hard to find. I would kill for someone to properly sharpen my Japanese welding scythe. I don't have the time to learn the skill. It's true. Right? Like I just don't think that's very high in demand here in South Africa. It's again a reach thing. You know, how do I connect with the people that need their knife sharpened? I feel like it will be a skill that will be useful. The reduce, recycle way of life is making a huge comeback. It is. My family spends a lot on knives, and the quality will last a lifetime. If you get yourself a good set of knives, it's true. I appreciate you, friends, so much for all of the suggestions. Guess it's just a matter of, you know, what we find valuable. We had that as a whole stream topic a few days ago, right? It goes both ways, you know, what the individual finds valuable as well. We have a pro sharpener at our farmers market. There we go. I know. So there are people that actually show up for that. There's just not enough marketable population in South Africa, exactly. Right? Like the people that actually have money in South Africa are like a very small minority. And on top of that, they're a minority that wants to be unseen and unnoticed. And from that perspective, there's no way for me to reach them, even if I wanted to. And if I wanted to reach them, I would have to go to their houses and I will probably get shot, you know, or attacked by dogs or kept outside by security. Mm, that's just not enough of a marketable population. It's also incredibly spread out. Everything would have to be mailed back and forth. Exactly. Right. And I'm just seeing the logistics of that. And it's causing me anxiety just imagining it. You know, I can't even imagine actually doing it. I was thinking if the chef is reviewing your yoga resumes, he could stand out for the yoga gig. I appreciate you, friends, so much. Love is true. Love is true. Love is true. I wonder if you could ever be a festival yogi. I've considered that as well, weirdly enough. When I was at that festival, White Rabbit, people actually did ask me if I could teach them yoga. But they asked me to do it Friday, not a Friday, Sunday afternoon. And then when Sunday afternoon came along, the people that asked me to teach them yoga ended up being so wrecked that they slept instead, which I understand, right? It's it. So there is, yeah, there definitely is a vector, but then again, it's a mobility thing where I don't have a vehicle right now. So it's not like I have the luxury of being able to go wherever I want to. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I for seriously love you all so, so very tremendously, gargantuanly, super immensely dearly. Melt on all of you absolutely fantastically, amazingly marvelous friends. Love is true. Thank you, dear Shan, always for your loving words. Melt would be attacked by dogs and bees, and dogs with bees in their mouths. Mr. Burns style, exactly. Oh no! Bees! Oh no, dogs! Oh no, dogs with bees in their mouth! And then I would, you know, limp back into stream and sit down with a few friends and be like, I'm never fucking doing that ever again. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, never. Thank you, friends, for letting me do this. You know, this is my job. You're right, Joy. And it's a joke because I've applied for like a bunch of jobs in the meanwhile, and nobody wants to hire me. And then I take it as like, yeah, technically, to me at least, that means this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I do believe that. I really do believe that. So thank you, friends, for allowing me to do this, for sharing in this moment, for showing up, even if it ain't perfect. Right? Love is true. Thank you, friends, for all you do. Until we do it again. tomorrow. Another cycle, another movement around the axis that is Earth. And we find ourselves here again. I love you. See you soon, dear friends. Joe, look forward to a jump hug with you. I'm imagining this well. So when they bark, they shoot bees at you. Duh. Yes. I was imagining more, actually, Dad, like they clamp onto your body, and then after they clamp onto your body, the bees start stinging you in their mouths. But I think them shooting bees at you might be even more horrific, where like I haven't even gotten close to the house and they start shooting bees at me already. And I'm just imagining myself walking through this slurry of bees. Like imagine laser, like I'm walking into a laser, but it's bees trying to get closer so I can ring the bell. Love you, friends. Until we do this tomorrow. Goodbye.